what the challenges and opportunities are in your view. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. It's a really honor to be part of this forum, but I was sorry. I was a little bit late because of technical problems. I missed the important opening remarks of His Excellency Mustashid Hussain Saeed. Sorry, I missed that part of the forum. The discussion of the Belt and Road in post-COVID-19 is very important at present because Belt and Road, because of COVID-19, has acquired a new meaning and new dimensions. Of course, the pandemic has also raised some questions about BRI. One obvious question is what impact COVID-19 will have on Belt and Road. Will it seriously affect its implementation? Will it prevent the projects from moving forward on time? Or will the world opinion for Belt and Road be more complicated and unfavorable for the progress of the project? Indeed, some people in the West have suggested, I've read and heard that a couple of times, that the BRI is dead and dead forever. The reality is, one of the benefit being the last to speak today is that I have the privilege to have heard the speeches by all the 8 previous speakers from 8 countries, and that has been a very good learning and rewarding process. So from your speech, we can tell that the project is going on and is very much resilient. That's the reality. Instead of falling apart, Belt and Road is gaining new ground in many areas, such as in embracing opportunities offered in a way, offered by COVID-19, such as developing public health cooperation and digital economy. The BRI is not only a policy meant to benefit China alone, but a project of great potentials of common development for all participants. The lifeline of Belt and Road lies in its function of connecting countries to engage in developmental programs through collaboration. It aims at greater good rather than self-interest. The projects that have already been launched have created jobs, improved infrastructure facilities, bolstered regional economic growth, and brought benefit to the life of the people in the region. And that's very obvious. Meanwhile, it has increased understanding between people of Belt and Road partner countries and fostered friendly feelings. Needless to say, COVID-19 has posed serious challenges, new challenges to the implementation of Belt and Road projects. For example, prevention and control measures have slowed down the flow of personnel, impeded timely transport and delivery of materials and goods, and the slowdown in economic development worldwide has also created constraint on funding. We've just heard the presentation by our Sri Lanka friend. The COVID-19 does make people rethink about the economic development. Sporadic new cases of COVID-19, as we have just experienced in Beijing in the last month, often put people on alert and interrupt their work plan. So admittedly, it takes time for the return of fast and efficient movement of people and materials. For example, the pandemic has reduced the benefit of international tourism. Myself and several of our friends, we were planning to go to Pakistan as tourists, and we have to drop that plan. All these challenges are not to be unsurmountable, of course, People have been working hard and being very creative in overcoming the difficulties posed by the disease. The most serious challenge, however, is the antagonistic attitude held by certain politicians from the West, who have been equally creative in unpleasantly labeling the project with increasing tenacity. At a time of economic pressure, one of their pet theories, the theory of debt trap, has been promoted with growing energy. Some countries have been devising and pushing their projects to counter BRI. Still worse, I think, are the overt and covert actions of certain countries against partner countries along the Belt and Road. People must be vigilant against such attempts. Having said that, we must recognize that there are many other things that have to be done in order to keep the momentum of the Belt and Road project. One technical challenge, as I see it, is the language barrier. From 1980 to 2020, for 40 years, China was busy opening up and learning from other countries in virtually every aspect. As a learning country, we have trained thousands upon thousands of translators and interpreters fluent in major languages, Western languages, of countries with advanced technology, such as English, German, French, Japanese, so that we could make available in China what has been written and published and said in those languages. Now, with the BRI unfolding, suddenly we find there's a huge growing need of people who can work between Chinese and languages spoken in much of Asia, Africa, even Central and Eastern Europe. Languages that are generally considered as languages of limited diffusion. We are not prepared to provide enough translators, interpreters in all these languages that are involved along the Belt and Road. Yes, an encouraging development is that more and more people in Belt and Road partner countries are learning Chinese, and they can fill some of the openings of translation jobs. This, however, in my experience, cannot meet the present needs, particularly in translation occasions where native speakers of both languages are required to work together as a teamwork. I'm involved in, for example, in a large publishing program where we are trying to translate some of the Chinese classics, for example, the Book of Changes, into languages used in Southeast Asia and Central Europe. When we translate materials in languages from these countries into Chinese, the Chinese translators can handle the job with confidence. But when we have to do it with the other way around, we need native speakers from BRI partner countries to work together with Chinese scholars. So we now face a dilemma that there are neither enough foreign translators well-versed in Chinese, nor enough Chinese translators capable of speaking those languages. So there's an urgent need of training more translators and interpreters but that take time, as we all know. Of course, there are many translation software tools, such as Google Translate, which can convert most worldly languages. However, as of now, they can only translate certain kinds of materials, while writings, books with profound cultural implications still have to be done by men. I must add that people are working hard in China to address this issue. What is gratifying is that more and more universities in China have opened courses of languages spoken in BRI partner countries. Beijing University of Foreign Studies, where both His Excellency Ai Ping and I received our undergraduate education, now leads China in offering courses in over 100 languages. This is now just a small technical example of the challenges we have to deal with to boost BRI there are a lot of things which seem too small, but they have to be taken care of. To facilitate the projects, we need to better understand, appreciate each other's cultures. We need to have increasing cultural exchanges to accompany, facilitate, and pave the way for smooth BRI connection projects. This need is what precisely makes today's forum significant, I think. I hope to see more forums similar to this, involving increasing numbers of people and dealing with a much wider range of topics. In fact, virtual meetings, despite their inadequacies, do provide a convenient, economical, and easy channel for exchange of ideas. Once again, my gratitude to our Pakistani friends for initiating today's event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Very interesting points from you, and